Hey, Blue Table fans! Yes! We're going to talk about Sisters of Battle. First off, I have Adeptus Sororitas. I have been following this range for some time. I actually owned a Sisters of Battle army. I think I played it one time in 2006. Something. No, it was before that. It was 2002. It's before I even started Blue Table painting in 04, by the way. Been around 16 years. All right, so I can't really speak very much to their competitiveness or how they play. I only know very little about it. However, they did just come out with a new book. So that is a great reason to play Sisters of Battle right now. Not only the new book, but a absolutely heart-rendingly gorgeous model range came out with them. They have so much great stuff. And on top of that, another topic to explore, as always when considering an army, is the support of subsidiary companies. I think the company is called Raging Heroes. If you want to do alternate sculpts, there are whole ranges for Sisters of Battle. How did this come about? Because Games Workshop didn't give them any love for the longest time. Now they're definitely giving them a lot of love. Gorgeous figures. Aesthetically, how do they look? Sisters of Battle definitely have very strong iconography, symbols, the lines. Obviously, it's an all-female or mostly female faction, so that's part of the aesthetic as well. If you love all nuns with guns, you're going to love Sisters of Battle. And the only little tiny nitpick I have is, I don't know what's going on with the women over in England, that they make their faces look so mean. And maybe that's on purpose. You know, it is the grim darkness of the far future, but I mean, come on, aren't there some beautiful women in the 40th millennium? That's what I meant to say. So anyway, there's that. And if that bothered you enough, you could just go with alternate ranges. Again, I'm pretty sure it's Raging Heroes. Google toughest girls in the galaxy, and then you'll find a bunch of great alternate sculpts for them. And then you could either marry in with what you have with Games Workshop, or you could just do exclusively that model range. As far as how they play, I don't know. I think just based on my long experience with war games in general, I would say what's probably happening right now is that no one's really taken the time to use Sisters of Battle the right way. Let's flash back 5 years. I have a friend who plays orcs, Rich Kilton, if you want to look him up. And he played orcs even when they were down, when they were not that great. He went to tournaments and he took notes. He was serious about really learning this faction. And orcs got a new book. They still weren't very highly powered, but Rich, he made them work. And he's been beating face in the tournament scene. And I think at least for a while he was a top orc player. Correct me if I'm wrong. And so Sisters of Battle, I have that same feeling about them. Like no one has really painted up the whole army and really figured them out. So in terms of competitiveness, that would be a reason to play Sisters of Battle if you're up for finding out how good they really can be. By the same token, a reason to play them is that you would want to be different. A lot of people are painting them now because they're great, but you're not going to see a lot of people with whole armies actually making that their dedicated faction that they're into. And the models are, they're just so good looking. It's just so much great stuff. I mean, it's crazy. It's the cutting edge of what Games Workshop is doing with models right now. And there is some complexity creep with them. They will not be easy to paint. And if you saw my Eldar video, Eldar aren't easy to paint either. They go with orcs if you're looking for something easy to paint. Orcs really are a beginner army. The only downside of orcs is you're going to have to paint up 90 boys. And boy, them sculpts have not been updated And I wouldn't recommend diving into orcs right now, because guess what? They're due for some love. And you don't want to have just finished 90 orc boys, you know, the hunched over ones, and then find out that they've got new cool stuff. Back to Sisters of Battle. There's a lot of factions in the books, so you have a lot of options regarding color scheme. And if you contact me as a client and want advice on that, let me tell you, I can give you advice on how to block them out. But they are, or in terms of their fields, they are very attractively set up. Meaning, by fields, I mean like a field would be their armor. So the armor would be, say, white. And then they have cloth, like cloaks and tabards and stuff like that. That's another field. But it's not a minor field. It's not something like a lot of armies, their different fields are disproportioned. They don't organize together very elegantly. For example, a Tau Fire Warrior is cloth, but it's not much cloth. It's like maybe 25% of the model. It's maybe 70% armor, and then they might have like little, you know, ribbons or something like that, or eyepieces, you know, like jeweled, like weaponry buttons and things. But really, Fire Warriors are a pretty boring model when it comes to it. And I mean, they look great, don't get me wrong, but there's really not many ways to organize color onto them. So, but with Sisters of Battle, they've got a lot of different fields that are gonna show up, but not interfere with each other. So, choosing colors for these is really important. But a little downside of Sisters of Battle is if you're going to paint them yourself, oh man, be ready to fight your way uphill, because they put on loads of detail. But that's a good thing, isn't it? All right, those are my comments about Sisters of Battle and why you should play them.